All right, we're going to get started here. We're tremendously delayed, so if I get everybody to get situated, we're going to get called to order here quickly. All right, I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for June 20th, 2017. I know we were supposed to start at 10 a.m. this morning. However, we ran a little late this morning with our fire meeting when dealing with some very pertinent, serious issues. So thank you for being patient with us this morning. We appreciate that. So at this time, I would invite our esteemed our DA, Mr. Chris Hicks, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, DA Hicks. I appreciate that, and thank you for being here with us today. All right, Madam Clerk, can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Bob Lucy, Chair.
Here.
Marcia Burke-Bigler, Vice Chair.
Here.
Kitty Jung.
Present.
Vaughn Hartung.
Is
absent at the
present.
moment.
He's just out of the room at this time.
Okay. Jeannie Herman.
Here.
County Manager John Slaughter.
Present.
Assistant District Attorney Paula Borelli.
Here.
And I'm Jan Galasini, Chief Deputy Clerk, so you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, Mr. Manager, item 3, please.
Item 3, Mr. Chair, is public comment. Comment heard in this item is limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the Commission agenda. Commission will also hear public comment during individual action items, with comment limited to 3 minutes per person, and comments are to be made to the Commission as a whole.
Great. This time I will call public comment. We have Mr. Jeff Stoffelbach, followed by Ms. Tammy Holtstill.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Stuffelbach has presented documents that I will distribute for the board.
Great. Mr. Stoffelbach.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Stoffelbach. I live in Spanish Springs. I'm here to address the Commission about their vote approving the medical marijuana dispensary in the old Blockbuster store in Spanish Springs. The 3 commissioners that voted in favor of it, Bob Lucy, Marcia Burke-Bilger, and Kitty Jung, virtually turned their backs on their colleague, Commissioner Vaughn Hartung, and his constituents. The mass majority of residents in Spanish Springs are against having a medical marijuana dispensary in our community. The 3 commissioners that voted for it don't live in Spanish Springs and should have followed Commissioner Hartung's lead, who does live there, and voted down in this location. If a medical marijuana dispensary is so necessary in Spanish Springs, a community committee could have been formed to help the commissioners locate a site that would be acceptable to the citizens of Spanish Springs. Putting it so close to our only grocery store, which kids and families frequent, is not an acceptable location. Also, directly behind the location is a fire station, which is also a safe haven for children. I don't think the 3 commissioners took this into consideration at all. It is also one of the Spanish Springs' most busiest intersections and increases the chances of impaired drivers being on our roads. Numerous times before the dispensary was voted down by the Commission, the Commission should have realized that a problem was at hand and asked for help from the community. Many of us would have been glad to assist. Commissioner Hartung asked GTI's representative if when marijuana can be sold for recreational use, if they will sell it or apply to sell it. He declined to answer the question, leaving the possibility wide open The commission should have listened to the people, not a controversial business like this, who is only out to make money at the expense of our community. Some of the supporters of the dispensary that spoke also worked there and also said they used the products from the dispensary. Sounds like they don't drug test. I don't know if having a county safe haven for kids so close to this dispensary violates any county ordinances, but I hope it is looked into. I don't know if it's too late for anything to be done to reverse the approval.
Thank you, Mr.
But if there is, I will support anyone who helps reversing this appalling approval.
Thank you, Mr. Stuffelbach. Next, we have Ms. Tammy Holt-Still.
Mr. Chair, Tammy has provided documents for the board.
Great, thank you.
Oh, you already started, okay. Good morning, Chair Lucy, Commissioners, Tammy Holt still for the record, and yes, still here. I'd like you to know that there might be a pop quiz at the end of this. I'd like to ask you to please, when you take a drive to Carson City, look at Washoe Lake. It is a good example of what Swan Lake is not. There are no sewer plants. There is no high-density housing. There are no warehouses. Washoe Lake, the size of it, is larger than Swan Lake by double. There is 3,259 acres of whole area to hold water. There's only 1,800 acres in Swan Lake. Also, Swan Lake does not have Steamboat Creek to help relieve the water, unlike ours, which is a closed basin. Right now, you have 2 million gallons of water going into the Stead Sewer Plant. That's 6 million gallons of water in a month estimated, sometimes a little over, sometimes a little less. That equals out to 185 acres. You take that by a year, that is 2,220 acres at a foot in height, which is larger than Swan Lake. Swan Lake's only 1,800 feet or acres. There's a big difference. No wonder why we have homes underwater. It sure is nice to see since the 70s that Washoe Lake has not changed, unlike what has happened out in the North Valleys. It's time to get control of Swan Lake. It is time to put in some type of relief for Swan Lake. You have too much water going in and no way for the water to go out. So let's see. You have constituents there. If you guys don't do something, especially before this winter, you're going to have more constituents back underwater, especially when you have representatives in your establishment that have already stated the barriers are going to fail. I also would like to thank Amber Howell for assisting the residents out in Lemon Valley with extended housing. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, I have Mr. Sam Dene, followed by Jean Gardella. Thank you.
Sam DNA Dene, the DNA of Reno government, which means that I'm the heart and the soul and the body and the mind, and I'm glad to see the district attorney is here to listen to my brilliant words, my brilliant extemporaneous words. I don't know why the district attorney's office doesn't hire me to be their watchdog too. And I'm not picking on them, but they need a watchdog just like almost every organization in Reno does. Especially the Reno Gazette regurgitator, wacko freak newspaper. If they ever needed a watchdog, wait a minute, they have a watchdog, a guard angel right here, Sam Dene. But guess what? Instead of having this false media, fake media, Reno has the invisible media. Invisible. Those people at the Reno Gazette think that I am invisible, this 10-ton elephant that's in the middle of every room. As another segue, I'm an Air Force Academy graduate. I only come down here philanthropically. I'm more qualified than all of those people up there. I'm maybe not quite as qualified as the district attorney in a specific area, but I bet you I could be a good district attorney. Not to pick on the district attorney, I love that man. He's a good man. And my dad, on his dying deathbed, Dr. Dene, who was the health officer for Nevada for several years, he said, "Son, always be nice to law enforcement people and to judges and to doctors." So I try to remember that when I'm talking about things. But he never told me not to be mean to the media wacko freaks. He never mentioned the weed. I know he did not like them, but he never talked much about them. And what we have is, oh, by the way, as far as these fires, I was responsible for the Air National Guard getting firefighting C-130s. I started that crusade 10 years ago. They finally have one or two of them, and I don't know why they weren't out there. Why weren't they out there at that Verdi fire the other day? I'm not picking on the Air National Guard, but they've had firefighting C-130s in the inventory for years. Those firefighting C-130s, one of them at least should have been out there. They could have put that fire out immediately, or maybe even that other fire that I saw up there in the on the picture there. They could get an airplane airborne. They could get an airplane airborne in 3 minutes if they had pilots on alert and put these fires out before they get out of hand. Why aren't they listening to Sam? Oh, because it was Sam's idea, and they want to wait at least 6 months before they activate my brilliant ideas. Again, here's the Reno Gazette, and the DA should notice this. It's an Attorney General issue, but right there, legal notices, day after day, month after month. All of these are paid for by public funds, and the definition of a public body is a body that receives public funding. The Reno Gazette has been violating. They've had misdemeanors and felonies taking place for years and years and years, and I'm filing an open meeting law complaint against them.
Thank you, Mr. Dene.
Thank you over there.
Next,
Thank you,
Mr.
and thank you, and thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Gene Girdella, followed by Mr. Wesley Griffin.
Gene Gardell, I live in Verdi. I'm here to again advocate for the establishment of a Verdi cab. Spoke in regards to the fire issues, but other person mentioned in Verdi you go down the street and you're in and out of the city of Reno multiple times anywhere you drive in the community. And Commissioner Naoma Jordan, or Councilor Naoma Jordan, actually held a meeting that for the community, and she had school district, TUMWA, NDOT, a couple of other agencies there to address the issues in which we interacted with the city of Reno and with Verdi. We need to have an established place where people can, it says 11 minutes, sorry. I know that I don't have that. In any case, we need to have a community advisory board so we can talk about all of the interactions between the city of Reno and the community of Verdi. It's a very problematic situation. The sphere of influence just had a huge impact on development in the area. It just needs to establish a local a Verdi presence, and I would suggest that you look at the possibility of forming a joint Verdi CAB, City of Reno NAB, with representatives from both things reporting to both agencies. I think it's a way to bring some of this together into a more thoughtful and sensible way for you to get information. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Wesley Griffin, followed by Miss Lisa Nash. Mr. Griffin. All right. No Mr. Griffin at this time, so we'll ask Miss Lisa Nash to come down. And she will be followed by Miss Elizabeth Gambrill.
Hi, Lisa Nash. I'm a Gerlach resident, and I wanted to say thank you, Commissioner Burke-Bigler, for giving us some reassurances. I have some additional questions, of course, which come up after things. We're very confused. I heard that we're a separate entity from Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District. So who do we report to? Is it directly to the commission? We'd love to request clarification as to how we work together separately and a clear definition of these relationships. None of us out there have seen any of the contracts. We don't know what the agreement is, how we are to work with Truckee Meadows, and how to make that effective. As we've just recently elected our officers for our Gerlach Volunteer Fire Department, we would like to know how we can help make this successful. We want to work better with Pat Irwin, who's acting as our chief, and improve everything. We want to make sure our reporting's right. We want to do this correctly, and we don't know what the relationships are. I don't know what working oversight means, or working, whatever the terms are. I don't know. Haven't seen a contract, and it's really hard to understand how we're supposed to be working with them. We have had a tumultuous relationship with Truckee Meadows as a community, and we'd like to repair that and make it something positive going forward. But when this all started, we were pretty clear that we didn't feel Truckee Meadows represented us well and had served very well in the past, and we were pretty gun shy, and none of us were interested in really being part of a volunteer fire department that reported directly to them. So we'd like some clarification. Aaron Keniston came out and talked to all of us individually, spoke to the community, and did a lot of research that was really useful and helpful, and we'd like to know where we stand now. We also want to, I was not a proponent of the plan to have a community liaison and put Pat Irwin in that position. However, he has done fantastically in bringing the community together. If there's problems in paperwork or anything like that, we'd like to know so we can step up and help. But we don't feel, the volunteers don't feel we're being brought to the table. We're stakeholders in this, and we don't know what's going on. I also want to ask that if this is a separate entity that reports to this board, do you get reports from our chief? Do you know what training we're doing? Do you have any of this information? I think it would be useful to start defining these rules and roles and start looking. We'd like to plan long-term. We'd like to know where we are 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now, what our goals are and where we're heading. We'd like to know what our budgets are. We'd like to know how we ask to make sure we can advocate for ourselves as well, and we're requesting your assistance to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nash. Next, we have Ms. Elizabeth Gambrill.
Good morning, Elizabeth Gambrell, Gerlach, Nevada, and I'm going to take up this discussion from the side of the Citizens Advisory Board, which we do have established for Gerlach and outlying areas. I'm sorry, the chairwoman could not be here from the CAB, so I'm representing. With regards to the CAB, our understanding was we were a liaison between Washoe County commissioners and the government and our citizens. And we don't feel as if we're getting advised or informed early enough from what's going on in the county to when it affects our citizens. Hence, we'd like to ask that, can we find a way to get information to cross from you to us earlier than the day before we hold our CAB meetings? With regards to the fire department, it was rumors that somebody heard here when they were in Reno and came back and told us. Nobody said there had been any meetings talking about Gerlach or what was going to go on, or that we had an audit coming, or that our funds were no longer going to be our funds. And that has concerned a lot of the citizens. There's a lot of talk in town because we talk to each other all the time. So as a representative from the Citizens Advisory Board, I would like to implore the commission to find a way to interact with us before the moment of something happening or before it has happened, and then we're told this is the way it is. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Follow, I have Miss Kathy Brandhorst.
My name is Kathy Brandhorst, and I'm also the United States President. I still live, on C Street, and most of you do not live on that property at all. But you still put up the poles, you still put up the wires, and that's the reason why you don't live there, because you can't afford to put in your gas and electric. You cannot afford to pay rent. You cannot afford to pay cable. You cannot afford nothing. So what are you doing? Putting the wires connecting to me and my neighbors. You pull down our gas, you pull down our electric, and I thought I had my fan on all night long, but unfortunately somebody had to steal that electric from my fan. So my fan is not working because somebody had to use my fan electric. Also, my gas in my stove has been stolen because you have to steal that through the wires and the poles in order to have that gas in your stove. I just wanted to let you know, even stealing my water from my sinks, my kitchen and my bathroom sinks. You have to have that water in order to furnish it in your home, but you don't live there. So you still need it. You're pulling it out of my hot water heater, and it has been bone dry because you need that hot water in your unit. You're stealing the water from my garden in order to water your garden. I got some dead plants because you can't afford to pay the water in order to get water to water those plants. I know you're still complaining you don't have enough water, but you're stealing it from all of my neighbors, and so we're all complaining every day we don't have enough water in our unit in order to use the water. Because you're stealing all our water pressure too.
Thank you, Ms. Brandhorst. Seeing no other further public comment at this time, I'll bring it back to the board. And we are on to agenda item 4. Mr. Manager.
Mr. Chair, item 4 is commissioners and county managers' announcements, reports, updates, requests for information, or topics for future agendas.
Okay. Madam Vice Chair, I have you signed in.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to ask staff, Mr. Manager, if you would please agendize an update on Gerlach Fire for us so that we can be brought up to speed on some of the answers to some of the questions that have been presented to us today from the members of the Gerlach Volunteer. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Commissioner Harton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I had the same question about that relationship between TM, what the actual relationship is, and how potentially TM would be involved in their volunteer staffing. And I'd also like to ask staff for perhaps once a month updates. We're doing some upgrades on Calle de la Plata and Pyramid. And it'd be nice for the citizens to know what how that's progressing. It is through NDOT, but Mr. Smith he's involved deeply, and we're also trying to work on an acceleration lane for the Hall Road out there for Martin Marietta, and so it'd be nice to have that sort of compiled. At the same time, perhaps staff once a month. Well, actually, it would not be a requirement of once a month. I retract that. Perhaps it would be nice to have the 3 plants that we have, which are Stem Wharf, South Truckee Meadows, Lemon Valley, and Cold Springs, to have their discharge numbers. I believe their discharge numbers are slightly different than what's been indicated. And I would like to have those numbers brought forth for all 3 plants and kind of how we're dealing with some of those issues individually. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Great. Thank you. Commissioner Herman.
I would like to request that we make some quick moves, make it an emergency kind of item, that we get the signs up, that $4,200 worth of signs can be done on Peavine in the gun area, shooting area. So I feel it's really important. Maybe we can save some fires and lives.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Herman. Mr. Manager, anything at this time from you? All right. I have just one quick comment to make, and we've heard a lot about it this morning. Here at the commission, we value our cabs, and each commissioner has either one or many within their district to discuss issues within their district, and it is a voice between the citizens and that commissioner of that district to utilize, so we can't be everywhere at once within our commission and within our district. Some of our districts are extremely large and with a number of residents. Those cabs serve as a very viable piece of information. The cabs, however, are utilized as business meetings. They are business meetings conducted by members. They have a board. They are recorded minutes. They're utilized quite often for development meetings and issues that need citizen input for direction to this board or whatever related board that issue may run to. But there is another format that we have instituted here at the county to utilize this as a little bit more of a impromptu, more candid discussion type, which would be our district forums. And every commissioner has the ability to hold and host district forums and bring members of staff to discuss hosts of issues with the citizens in regards to fire, security, safety, water, whatever it may be. Those commissioners have that ability. And so if you don't feel like you're having that kind of conversation with your commissioner, I would urge you to reach out to your commissioner that represents your district and ask for a district forum. Ask them to address the issues so they could have a candid conversation with you, and not just a cab meeting that would be where minutes are taken and issues are addressed but not answered. So this is that would be my suggestion to a number of topics that were brought up today, is to hold those district forums to better inform and have those conversations with your commissioner. That would be my only comment for today. I also would like to see the Peavine shooting. It is a resolution we took care of last year, and so I'd like to see some resolution to that sooner rather than later. So with that, seeing no other commissioner comment topics, we will bring it back to the board. Mr. Manager, item 5, please.
Mr. Chair, item 5 is introduction of new Washington County employees. So would invite commissioners to come down. We'll have our employees come down and introduce themselves.
Slide says you have to.
So your name and your title. Name, department, title.
I'm Andrew Galloway. Oh. I'm Andrew Galloway. I work for CSD and Parks Department up at, I guess, down in South Valley's Regional Sports Complex. And it's great to be here.
What are you?
Maintenance worker. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. That's pretty good. Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
My name is Susan Hopkins, and I work for the Environmental Health Department as an office assistant too.
My name is Laura Dixon. I work at the Sheriff's Department as a new DNA criminalist.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Big round of applause for our new employee. Thank you, and welcome aboard to all of our new employees. Love continue to see our team grow here at Washoe County. It's very important. So, Mr. Manager.
Item 6.
Item 6.
Mr. Chair, item 6 is our presentations of excellence in public service certificates. Washoe County encourages lifelong learning and the professional development of all of our employees. Administered by the Human Resources Department, Excellence in Public Service is a series of certificate programs designed to support employee development and performance. The completion of these courses over a 2-year period demonstrates the employee's commitment to continuous personal and professional improvement and to Washoe County's journey of excellence. And today we're very pleased to recognize that commitment. Our first recipient is Alicia Christensen, who is a family support specialist for the District Attorney's Office, and Alicia has completed the Essentials of Management Development. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Ben Hutchins, Division Director of Finance and Administration for Community Service Department. Ben has completed Essentials of SAP for Financial Staff. Congratulations. Next, we have Annalise Lockhart with Family Support, who is a Family Support Specialist for the District Attorney's Office. And Annalise has completed the Promote Yourself Mini Certificate Program. Congratulations to Annalise. Thank you. Thanks for waiting. Next is Lori Martinez. Laura Martinez. Laura is an Office Assistant 2 for the District Attorney's Office and has completed the Promote Yourself Mini Certificate Program. Congratulations, Laura. Thanks for waiting. And next, I believe we've set a record today with this next recipient, Kim Novotny, Deputy Recorder 1 for the Recorder's Office. And Kim has completed Essentials of High-Performing Teams, Essentials of Personal Effectiveness, Essentials of Support Staff, and the Promote Yourself Mini Certificate Program. Congratulations, Kim. And Kim's not here?
She's in another training.
She's in training.
Thank you.
So, I think that is a record. Next is Katie Sullivan, Assistant Manager for the District Attorney's Office. Katie has completed Essentials of Management Development. Congratulations to Katie. Congratulations. Thanks for waiting. And next is Lona Tett, Office Assistant 3 for the Assessor's Office. And Lona has completed the Essentials of Personal Effectiveness Program and the Promote Yourself Mini Certificate Program. It's another record just for the length of the number of these today.
I know.
Next is Susie Valdespin, Administrative Secretary for the Manager's Office. And Susie has completed the Essentials of SAP for HR Rep. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were going to send out a challenge to other departments to bring air horns, but we thought that'd be too disruptive. So, Hector Vasquez, Office Assistant 2 for the District Attorney's Office, has completed the Promote Yourself and Mini Certificate Program. Congratulations, Hector. Nathan Voland, Family Support Specialist for the District Attorney's Office, has completed the Essentials of Management Development. Congratulations to Nate. And then last but not least, Dale Kaduk, Department Support Supervision for the District Attorney, has completed Essentials of Management Development. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just wanted to add, obviously, these are commitments by employees to attend these training sessions, but also for their supervisors, managers, and department directors for allowing them to take the time to improve and advance their careers with Washoe County. So thank you.
Thank you. You know, and I want to make a quick comment. You know, it looks, and I'm keeping my tally sheet up here, but I want to thank DA Chris Hicks allowing his staff the time and the ability, and on all the employees at the District Attorney's Office. 7 of you received promotion, participated in these programs, and I want to say that is tremendous. And thank you for all your time. But not only that, but the DA's office came out with 7 individuals, but the recorders, Ms. Novotny, you had 4 programs. So I mean, you basically represent 4 people in your office. So congratulations to that. But I want to thank all of the assessor's office, the county manager's office, the CSD, everybody, all the departments that really allow your employees to partake in this. It really truly is an opportunity for you to advance your careers here at the county. It's a wonderful opportunity that the county continues to present, and we enjoy making sure that you have those. So thank you for utilizing them, and thank you for all the time you put in addition to your hours here at the county. So congratulations. All right, Mr. Manager, we are on to item 7.
Item 7 are your proclamations, and this is for possible action. Item 7A1, proclaiming June 2017 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and June 21, 2017 as the longest day. And I know that Commissioner Hartung will make his way down to the podium, as well as I believe we have William Palmer and Jacob Harmon, but I'm not sure.
Not here.
Jacob's not here.
Brooke Westlake.
Brooke Westlake, yes.
Hi, my name's Brooke Westlake Kelly, and we want to thank you for recognizing June as Brain Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And we want to remind you that tomorrow is the longest day. And what the longest day represents is it's a reminder for the caretakers who essentially all day long they are caretakers for the ones that they are taking care of, the Alzheimer's and dementia family members. And we also want to remind you to come join us if you can for our annual walk, which is Saturday, September 23rd, where we raise money to our continued efforts to find a cure for Alzheimer's. I'm a volunteer and I'm very passionate about this, being that I was my grandma's primary caretaker and we had 2 other members in our family that have Alzheimer's. My grandma has since passed away, and so has the other family member. And this is my other volunteer member.
Hello, Commissioners. My name is William Palmer. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones, and I have several family members suffering from Alzheimer's. I see it in my day-to-day business, the great devastation this disease leaves on our community. It's actually been quoted as the greatest threat to the health and wealth of our elders. So it's with great appreciation that we thank you for recognizing this disease and they're going forth with the efforts to find a cure. We greatly appreciate it.
Great.
More than welcome to say.
Commissioner Hartung.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Von Hartung, here representing the Alzheimer's proclamation. We've already had the introductions, so I won't do that, but we do have Amber Howell and we have Mr. Ken Retterath from our own departments. Alzheimer's is an extremely devastating disease. This commission has been working for some time now to make some changes in our Daybreak program to increase its footprint. I'm hoping that with Ms. Howell's help that we will be able to get that change instituted, hopefully by year's end. Some of the things that people don't realize, that when you have a family member who has Alzheimer's and you're trying to care for them at home, it is extremely difficult. One of the changes that we are going to make is some assistance with home modifications to help them to modify their homes to make them safer. People may not be aware of some of the great strides in brain imaging, the quest for biomarkers, and of course the role in genetics. And that's a huge issue for people to understand, is there a genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's and some other diseases? And I would recommend everyone go out and get the 23andMe done. It's really quite enlightening. And it helps you to understand and it helps you to potentially make some changes in your own life. Having said that now, the proclamation. There are currently more than 43,000 people with Alzheimer's living in the state of Nevada. more than 6,000 of whom are in Washoe County, and additionally another 18,000 caregivers in Washoe County who are caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's. And whereas the Longest Day and Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month strive to provide information about the challenges faced by people with Alzheimer's as well as their caretakers. And whereas the Alzheimer's Association's mission is to eliminate the disease through the advancement of research to provide and enhance care and support of all affected, and to reduce the risk of dementia through the promotion of brain health. And whereas the Alzheimer's Association is marking June as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and Wednesday, June 21st, as the Longest Day, and asking residents of Washoe County to visit www.alz.org to learn more about Alzheimer's disease and to get involved in the fight against Alzheimer's. And whereas June is a time to wear purple for the millions of individuals worldwide and for all family members and caregivers locally affected by Alzheimer's disease. Now, therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim June 2017 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and June 21st, 2017 as the Longest Day, and encourages all county residents to wear purple in honor of those struggling with this disease. Dated this 20th day of June 2017, signed by our chair, Bob Lucy. And I would like to note that we are all wearing our, I would call it flair, that's from The Office, to represent Alzheimer's. And I should have brought everyone down here who is wearing purple, and every single one of you has some form of purple on, so I'm pleased that we are acknowledging that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If they'd all like to come down.
Let me let Ms. Howell speak first.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Amber Howell. I'm the Director for Washoe County Social Services. Next month, we will be the Human Services Agency, so we're very excited about that. Just wanted to echo and support the comments that were already made. It's really an opportunity for us to encourage employees and the community to go purple. And to send us their posts and Facebook and Twitter messages out so we can spread it throughout the community. You can send photos to our new PIO, Chris Chiarlo at CCIARLO@washoecounty.us. Thank you so much for your support. This is a very important event, and we look forward to doing what we can in the next year to bring more support and services to the Alzheimer's community. So thank you very much.
Good morning. For the record, Ken Ridrath, Division Director with Washoe County Social Services. I'd just like to thank Commissioner Hartung and the Commission for bringing this forward. It's a very important issue to get out and to educate on. There's probably none of us that haven't had a loved one that has had Alzheimer's or had a friend that was involved. So we all have seen this and been touched by it, and I think this awareness is great. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Big round of applause. Commissioner Hartung, can we get a picture down there?
Photo.
All right.
Just make sure you have a key to get back to Thursday.
I'll put these all right. All right. Hey, you gotta center us. You're in charge. All right. Center us. Yeah, situated.
Perfect. There we go. All right. Here we go. And 3. Here we go. And nice smile. 3, 2. One more. Here we go. 3, 2. All right.
Let's do one more too for most.
Yeah.
Look at his phone. Chris, that is an amazing case. Thank
Yeah.
You. Ready? Now that everybody's laughing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that so
He's so jealous that he has you on like my side.
Do you name it? Do you name it? Do you just spin? You just go down to it. Thank you. Thanks, guys. You should.
Hey, Chris.
Nice meeting you. Lucky you.
And my father's side of I'm gonna be one of your officials.
Is this yours, bro?
Yes.
Don't forget it.
I won't. Thank you so much.
When it comes to yesterday. No.
All right.
So I went and played the crime scene.
So at this time, we, hopefully that's not on the public record. At this time, we are on to item 782. And it's a proclamation for Silver Dollar Court Day. And we have Commissioner Jung here for that proclamation.
Are you Emperor David Harrison White?
And I'm representing the Silver Dollar Court.
What's your name?
Paco LaChoy.
Paco LaChoy?
Yes.
I love it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have here with me Mr. Paco LaChoy, who is going to be receiving our proclamation in the stead of Emperor David Harrison White of the Board of Trustees of the Silver Dollar Club. Whereas the Silver Dollar Court is a nonprofit, philanthropic, and social organization celebrating 41 years and is the oldest continuously operating LGBTQA organization in the state of Nevada. And whereas, based in Washoe County, the Silver Dollar Court has made giving back to those who are less fortunate in the community its priority. And whereas, in 1976, the Silver Dollar Court created the first gay rodeo in the country, setting the standard that produced the International Gay Rodeo Association with its charity component. Excuse me. And whereas, the Silver Dollar Court has donated more than $1.5 million to over 200 charities and organizations doing it $1 at a time. And whereas Washoe County nonprofits that have benefited from the generosity of the Silver Dollar Court are the Muscular Dystrophy Association, Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation, the Veterans Guest House, Make-A-Wish, the Crisis Call Center, and Washoe County Special Olympics, and many others. And whereas the current elected and reigning Emperor, David Harrison White, and the Board of Trustees of the Silver Dollar Court have continued the tradition of fundraising established by their predecessors. Now, therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim June 17, 2017 as Silver Dollar Court Day and applauds and congratulates the continued efforts of the Silver Dollar Court and its elected officials for their dedication to fundraising and assisting the less fortunate, signed by our fair chair, Mr. Bob Lucy. Would you like to say something?
Yes.
Please do.
The Silver Dollar Court would like to thank the County Commission for this honor. And one of the things that we're currently working on is that, I don't know if you know it, but the rodeo grounds was where we started gay rodeo in 1976. And that floor is the original floor that has been there. Some dirt's been added, but it's still basically the original floor. And we have started the process to seek national landmark historical status for that location.
Great.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Can we get a photograph?
Yes, let's get a
Sure.
photo, please.
Do we still have the gay rodeo? Because I didn't
No.
hear about it. Wow, why? Where is it? Let's get it going. I love the gay rodeo. That's the only rodeo I go to. You all got all
All right, we're here. Here we go. And 3, 2. One more. Here we go. And 3, 2.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much, very much. I don't know about you too. So right up, you're starting to worry me.
All right. Thank you very much for all of the members that came here for today for the proclamations, and thank you, Commissioner Jung and Commissioner Hartung, for reading those for us today. Really appreciate that.
Public comment?
We have I'm not showing any public comment signed in at this time, so no public comment.
Motion to approve the
Thank you.
proclamations, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Did you push it?
Yes, I'm going to need a. There you go.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hartung, second by Commissioner Jung. Call for the vote at this time. Waiting. Temporary hold.
The speed of technology.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Please place your vote. Matt, please affirm your vote. Motion carries 5-0. All right. Mr. actually, Commissioner Jung, we are on
Thank
to
you so
agenda
much.
item 8.
Yes, this is agenda item 8, donations, which is for possible action. And we have 5 of those. 8A1, we are accepting $9,041.89 to the Washoe County Regional Animal Services for the period, so just this last quarter, to be used for the humane care and treatment of sick and/or injured, stray, abandoned, or at-risk animals that we receive. We are always happy for these thoughtful contributions, and especially in a county that is pretty animal crazy, I would
Pretty
say.
animal
Yeah,
crazy.
in a good way. 8A2 is accept $6,862 donation for the District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center equipment, operational, and program needs from 36 individual donors. And that Child Advocacy Center is a one-stop shop for children who have been sexually or physically abused. They don't have to tell their story over and over. They get their examinations there. If you haven't yet toured that, please go take a look at that center. That's also going to get us a lot of national attention. Recommendation to accept 8A3 is a recommendation to accept various military surplus equipment. Overall estimated value of about $1.9 million, which is no charge to us, and that will be donated to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office to be utilized to support detention response team. Excuse me, K-9 units, Raven, Special Weapons and Tactics, AKA SWAT, and the search and rescue of Washoe County. 8A4.
Yep.
Hi.
One slight change there,
Yes?
just in wording, no big deal.
Oh, I have it. Thank you. I got it. Thank you very much. So we have a slight change in the wording on 8A4, and this is a one-time donation of $23,226 from the Lifestyle Homes Foundation to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office to be used before the Patrol Division to purchase rifles, optics, and related equipment. We thank you, listeners, for that. And item 8A5 is our final one, a donation of equipment valued at $1,196 from Drunk Busters of America, LLC, to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office to be used for community outreach. As always, this commission is very grateful for the generosity of the citizens here in Washoe County, and we all know that we couldn't do this on our own, so we thank all of them. Thank you,
Great.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Jung. So at this time, we do have public comment signed in on the donations. Miss Kathy Brandhorst.
My name is Kathy Brandhorst, and I'm also the United States President. $23,226. Well, I just wanted to let you know the Lifestyle Homes to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. Well, it says also here, Patrol Division to purchase rifles, optics, and related equipment. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I've seen this happen so many times where I live. They come out with their machine guns, their shotguns, their rifles, their handguns, right out of their homes and shoot down the sheriffs. shoot down the police officers and get away with it. They were all filled with bullet holes across their faces. Their entire bodies were filled with bullets and bullet holes. I just wanted to let you know, why are you giving them the purchase guns in their own homes to use it against the police officers and against the sheriffs? Because they asked you to leave the property. You do not live here. Stay off the property. Also, I just wanted to mention too, little children have been shot because they have the guns inside their homes. They were filled with bullet holes because they said, I'm sorry, you don't live here. This is my home. I live here. And what do? You come out again out of that home where the boys live, and you say, I live here, so stay off my property. And that's not true. You put the bullet holes in those little tiny kids because they really do live there. And they are the ones that don't ever have a chance at all because they don't carry a weapon. They don't carry guns. They can't shoot you, but you got away with it anyway to shoot those young kids because they live there. And I am really tired of hearing, all these things going on in that property because you people don't live there, and we do live there.
All right, seeing no further public comment, I'll bring it back to the board. Looking for a motion at this time to accept the donations. Commissioner
moved.
Jung? I have a motion from Commissioner Jung,
Second?
second by Commissioner Hartung.
I pushed it.
Calling for the vote. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Please affirm your vote. The motion passes 5-0. All right. Mr. Manager, we are on to item number 9.
Item 9 is your consent agenda. We have one item, which is approval of minutes.
Move approval.
I have a motion by Commissioner Burkbergler, second by Commissioner Jung. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
The mover was,
Oh yeah, the mover, it annotated the mover as Commissioner Herman and the seconder by Commissioner Jung. But let the record show. We are out of consent. We are on to our final public comment at this time, agenda item 10. I have Miss Kathy Brandhorst signed in for our final public comment.
My name is Kathy Brandhorst, and I'm also the United States President. The accounting department that we had here, they were all filled with bullets. Because, we all know that the accounting department worked very hard, and they deserve, to be announced also, and they all still work here, but unfortunately we had to bury them all because they were all filled with bullets. And the blood and flesh on the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor of this building. You didn't even tell us, that this took place, but we all had to find out one by one. It has never been told in this county commissioners' chambers. You never told the public that this took place, and you never told them exactly who did it, why it was done, and you never told nobody, not even the public knew about the county commissioner accounting. The accounting department was dead. They removed the third floor, they removed the second floor, and I found both floors. Yes, on the property of the university. You did not tell them why all the construction workers were there, did you? To remove all the blood and flesh on both floors. That costs a lot of money to remove blood and flesh and bullet holes all over those floors. You had to remove those floors, the third and second floors, in order to cover it up. Yes, you had to cover it up, that they were all dead. And you know what? We all know right now, today, that the third and second floors of the accounting departments, they are all buried, they're all dead, but we also think about how they work so hard for the county. And I just wanted to let you know the second and third floors at the university are being rebuilt because they had to cover up on all the blood, the flesh, the bullet holes, the grenades that were used, the bombs they had to use on those buildings, on the second and third floors. And the bodies that were still there underneath their desks, they were still there, and they chopped up so badly we didn't even know they were human bodies. Oh. And I did come by there, and I listened to some of the awful things that the construction workers had found on those second and third floors. And we discussed it while I was standing there.
Thank you, Ms. Bramhurst. All right, seeing no other further public comment, I'll bring it back to the board. I don't have you signed in for public. Do we have another public comment signed in for Ms. Tammy Holt still? Well, Ms. Tammy, why don't you come down and we'll get all the paperwork or whatever figured out. How about that?
Okay, great, thanks. Again, Tammy Holt still for the record. Just wanted to let you know that I wanted to stress that the affluent water that is going into Swan Lake is going into a closed basin. I don't know how much you understand of that, but when you have Washoe Lake that is receiving no affluent waters, they're just getting the runoff from the melting of the snow and the runoff from the areas around Washoe Lake, it has a way to leave. Right now, Swan Lake has no way for water to go anywhere but where it's been going, which is hitting the HESCO barriers at the current time. Before that, backflowing onto the residents' property. It still has backflowed onto some residents' property that is still underwater. Where the issue is there's no way for that water to leave. That water has to leave somehow, some way. And evaporation by Mother Nature, okay, that works to a point. But when you're putting in 2,200 gallons of water a year to make it a foot deep, acre feet, we're talking acre feet, 2,200 acre feet, and then you add in a storm like we had this year with all the runoff from all of the buildings, all of the acres of concrete from the warehouse buildings and stuff, it adds up. Silver Lake's the same way. Silver Lake didn't get affluent waters. Silver Lake just got large because of all the water has been diverted a lot from Peavine going into Silver Lake. I've done a lot of research on this, and I cannot seem to get your staff to want to work with us, and we've done our research. We've been trying to figure out how to give you answers. All of us need answers. All of us need action. We can't wait until winter comes. So we're here. the committee wants to work with you. We're working with Spout. We actually have a conference call between Spout representatives, which is flood formula. They're also working to get us an actual pro bono hydrologist. Hopefully that works out so that we can have some more paper behind us so that maybe you, the board, will understand more than just our common sense. Maybe we'll have somebody that'll have some engineering that'll say, you know, these people are right. So that'll help. So we're out here. Have your staff come talk to us. Hear our ideas, you know, so we can work together to get this fixed, because next winter, 4 more months.
Great, thank you. All right, seeing no further public comment, we'll bring it back to the board at this time. We're on to item 11. Mr. Manager.
Item 11 is our commissioner and manager's announcements, reports, updates, requests for information, or topics for future agendas.
All right, I have Commissioner Hightongue signed in.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Something I neglected to mention, I had an opportunity to represent us along with the manager. I didn't see any other commissioners there, but perhaps one of you were or more. On June the 7th, we attended the NNLEA, which is the Northern Nevada Law Enforcement Academy. Great turnout, 18 for the SO, 15 RPD, 4 SPD, 2 Reno Sparks Indian Colony, and then 2 from the Washoe Tribe of Nevada and California, which is this speaks volumes to the number of young people that want to become police officers. What was very memorable about this, and I think this is also part of my request, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. O'Connor, we had Master Deputy Rick Pillen retire, correct? It was his last class. But I think the real question is how many young people has he touched over the years? And I would like to bring him forward and just honor him with some type of a proclamation, because he's touched a lot of police officers out there, a lot, and done a lot of training, and it needs to be recognized, not just because he's from the SO, but because this was his last graduating class, and this was acknowledged as 2017-01. So I'm assuming that they're going to 2017-02 now. That's in the process. Great ceremony, and thank you to all who dare to endeavor to be police officers. It's a tough job. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right. With that, I will. Oh, there you are, Vice Chair Berkbigler. I'm very sorry, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you. I at a previous request for staff support on the issue of if you are serving on as a member of a GID, can you sit on the cab? We received a report. And so I think we need to bring this forward for discussion, because I know that this is an issue that has come up a number of times in Commissioner Herman's district as well as some of the other districts. So I would request that this be put on the agenda so that we can discuss it. Thank you.
Great. Seeing nothing further, the one thing I would ask you is that we are in the midst of the Reno Rodeo right now, right next door to us. A couple things. I want to first thank you, staff, for being patient during this week. It's tough to get in and out of here with all the events going on next door, and I think our staff has been tremendously patient here at the 9th Street building to accommodate the amazing fans that we have next door. We have a very, great group of people attending the rodeo, and also the Bob Feist International, which is going on at the same time. So 2 big events going on in our Livestock Event Center. Very proud to have those events here in Reno. They bring a lot of amazing people and individuals to our community and have a tremendous effect on our economy. We also next week have the Sheriff's Association here with us, and they will be in attendance. They're actually going to conduct their meeting, I believe, Friday here in these chambers. Their executive board is going to be here and conduct their meeting. So we're glad to offer whatever services we have available to that association as well, and welcome them to our community. Over 500 sheriffs will be in attendance here in Reno, Nevada. Very, very honored to be part of that and participate in that. So some amazing events going on over the next couple of weeks. And so please get out, enjoy the rodeo. If you get a chance, go over and watch the roping events at the Bob Feist International Week and during the day over in the arena. So with that being said, seeing nothing further, we will adjourn the regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. We are adjourned, folks. Thanks very much. We have now closed session upstairs for